Hi everyone, this is Aisling Brennan from NetFort Technologies. Thank you for joining NetFort's live partner update today. I'm Aisling Brennan and a member of the support team at NetFort Technologies, and I will be your moderator and co-organizer today. Just before we get started, could everybody take a moment just to ensure that you're familiar with the control panel there? First, you should see the control panel on the right side of your screen, and you can minimize it by clicking on the double arrow button in the left-hand corner, and you can expand it as well at any time. Second, you have the ability to submit questions at any time during the webinar using the chat pane located near the bottom of the control panel. Simply type in the question and click send. At the end of the presentation today, we will cover off any questions in a Q&A session, and if we don't get time to cover all questions, we will capture them and make sure they're responded to afterwards. And finally, if you all should be able to hear through your computer speaker system by default, and if you're having any trouble hearing us, please let me know. So today we have two panelists, Terry Conroy, who's NetFort's Channel Manager, and Dara Delaney, Director of Technical Services and Customer Support. The main topics to be covered today are what's new in version 10 of LAN Guardian, a quick update on our SolarWinds integration, some upcoming new features in our product, an introduction from Terry Conroy, and a couple of other surprises too. So take it away, Terry.
Okay. Hi, my name is Terry Conroy. I've recently joined NetFort as Channel Manager as of the 1st of July. My main task as Channel Manager for NetFort will be to help you succeed in selling our solution to your customers. So what I'd like to ask you is, if you need anything, to let me know. If you have customer visits, marketing events, seminars, I am here to help you be more successful. One of the changes I have made so far is to our partner portal. I realize that a lot of you are also SolarWinds resellers, and it was my opinion that it would be better for you to have the information on selling SolarWinds all together in one place. So if you go to our partner portal and log on, you'll find an added section called SolarWinds, which contains all the collateral we have for SolarWinds. If you need any other changes made to the partner portal, please let me know. If you haven't got an ID or access to our partner portal, please go to the website and register there. Okay, now I'll hand you over to Dara. We'll get on with the more interesting stuff, the technical presentation.
Okay, thanks, Terry. So I'm going to go straight to our demo system here, and the LAN Guardian demo system is available on our website, netfort.com. If you click on the live demo button on the home page, you'll have access to the standalone LAN Guardian demo and also a SolarWinds demo. On our channel, on the partner portal, you'll also find information in there on how to download and install a Portsbull demo, which is what I'm using myself here today. Any questions on that, please let me know. Let's take a look at what's different in version 10. The 10 comes from the fact that we're 10 years in operation, so there's quite a few changes in here. The main one is that when you log on, you're presented with the four most common ways our system is used. So if you've got customers, prospects with bandwidth problems, we've got the bandwidth troubleshooting option here. If somebody's interested in forensics, especially around what users are doing, that's here as well. File activity, specifically Windows file shares, and web activity. So let me give you a couple of examples of how these can be used. So firstly, bandwidth troubleshooting. The most common things we see this being used for is a WAN problem where the link is slow, or they've got VPN connections coming in and users are saying, you know, it seems to be much slower today than it was yesterday. To troubleshoot a problem like that, you download the software to install it, leave it running for a couple of minutes, and then come here to the home page and type in the IP range of the site. So for example, 192.168.0.0/16, for example. Press go. So this would be the IP subnet of the remote location. We get back a range of elements. Just take a few seconds to load up. Oops, let's type it in wrong, did I? I did, my mistake. So 192.168.0.0/16. If it was a VPN connection I was troubleshooting, I would just type in just the single IP for the site in question. And it works the same way. So you can either put in an IP address or an IP range. Another change when we search is you can also specify time period. In the past it was fixed on 1 hour. Now you can choose whatever time you want. As a result of customer feedback, you might want to troubleshoot a problem that occurred yesterday or maybe even a week ago. So for a given subnet or a VPN connection, what do we know? We start off here at the top left. We can see the total traffic carried on that link over the past, I'm looking at 24 hours. We can see the top protocols in use. So web, a lot of proxy and web traffic here accounts for 25%. We see the top talkers on the link. So what clients, what servers are generating the most amount of traffic on our WAN connection? Top talkers based on the number of packets sent and received. On the right-hand side, we get even more detail. We've got things like what are the top web conversations? What are the top conversations via proxy server? What files have been copied up and down the link? And what are the top websites based on the number of hits? So if there was a problem with this particular link, I can see, okay, web is 25% traffic, and it looks like the top conversations are YouTube. So we kind of can quickly understand what is using up bandwidth on our networks. This level of detail here, now there are other products out there that you could use NetFlow and different things, but to get the level of detail like what files are copied or what connections to the proxy server, that's where the LAN Guardian really comes into it, because using deep packet inspection, we can retrieve that sort of information that you cannot get from other tools that might use NetFlow or use SNMP as a source of data. Let's go back to the home page, take a look at forensics. A good example of this, if you've got prospects out there who, for maybe compliance reasons, they need to have an audit trail, or maybe they have occasion to investigate what users are doing, very common within an educational institute where they may need to check up on someone. This network forensics option is very good for that. Because we integrate with Active Directory and eDirectory, we can retrieve usernames. So for example, we've got the user on the phone complaining, the system is slow. Just type in their username, so just type in 3 letters and it starts prompting you then. Press go on that. We get a very similar display. We got multiple elements associated with this particular user. So what do we know about him? Well, the top left-hand side here gives us the traffic profile. What traffic that user has generated on the network. We've got the events the user is triggering. So we can see here, that, amongst other things, Conflict worm. We've got what IP or what machines the users have gone to. We're getting a lot of, especially talking to our customers, very interested in monitoring for bring your own devices. People coming in with iPads, even smartphones. This here is reporting the users logging onto multiple systems. So they may have iPads and stuff going around, so you could tell from the icons. But because it's just a consolidated view, you can see all activity associated with the user, not just what they're doing with their desktop. We can see emails that's coming from user systems here. It looks like a lot of spam. You see the websites they're accessing, connections to the proxy server, and even what files they're accessing on Windows file shares. So from this screen here, if this user is complaining, firstly I can say there's a couple of issues with your system associated with virus, and you're also running BitTorrents, which is probably where the virus came from in the first place. And a lot of the sites are kind of non-work related. So you can get an answer very quickly as to what's happening, why a user's having a problem, or maybe it's a manager that's asking the question. And again, all you need to do is log on from the home page, type in the username, and you get all that level of detail. Interesting, when we rolled this out into some beta sites first, feedback we got from one of our customers was it was very good. It took the LAN Guardian away from being a very technical tool that could only be used by the real techies, to something that can be used by pretty much anybody in an IT organization, because in their case they gave it to the help desk and they were able to deal with requests directly. So we can, we kind of, the skill set needed to use LAN Guardian was dropped because you just type in a username or an IP address. Let's take a look at file activity, very popular part of our system here for compliance reasons, just for troubleshooting. Probably one of the most common things that it's used for. File gets deleted off the network, and people want to know who deleted the file and when was it deleted. So in the file fields here, we type in, let's say, forecast, some file has gone missing. Press go. And LAN Guardian now goes off to retrieve a list of any file that was accessed with the word forecast in it. So we found one, sales forecast 2010. And let's do some analysis on that then. So we're now into the LAN Guardian reporting environment, but we're on the correct report, where in the past you would have to try and find this report. Now it's very easy to get to it by just launching it from the search page. This is the IP address that deleted the file off the network, and they also got the date and time it was deleted. Then we can press the user button here, and then that will resolve the IP address to who was logged on at the time. So it doesn't matter if it's a DHCP environment, we keep a history or historical record of who's logging on to what IP address. In this case, some user called Wendy Fagan was responsible for deleting that file off the network. So we could contact this user. Maybe they have a local copy of it, maybe on a USB stick, so it's a quick restore. If not, at least we now know as well when the file was deleted from the network. So if you have anybody out there looking for something to monitor Windows file shares, it's commonly known as file share monitoring. File activity monitoring is another common name for this. LAN Guardian is perfect for that and requires no installation of agents, no software on your servers. You just connect it to a SPAN port and away you go. Final thing on the home page is our web activity search. So somebody asks, can we find out who has been on YouTube? So all you do is type in the name of the site. And any site, whether it be an intranet or internet site, here's a list of all IP addresses connecting to YouTube. We can get the username associated with that by clicking the user button. And we could even drill down and get further information, like when something like YouTube, we can report on even what videos people are watching. And this is becoming a interesting part of LAN Guardian, because we're finding in a lot of networks, they have to allow YouTube, or they have to allow access to content delivery networks. And you kind of have to try and figure out what's bad and what's good. So in this case here, we have users on YouTube, but they're all watching something called the Singing Ring Tree. Doesn't look like training material to me. So LAN Guardian is very good for identifying the good and the bad, where people have to allow access to certain sites, but they want a level of reporting where they can just keep an eye on that and monitor that. So it's very good for that as well. And again, without requiring any messing around with firewalls or proxy servers, this is all done from traffic. And the other change in the system is that the LAN Guardian comes with up in, I think, 200 reports, and you can create many more yourself. So you can have an infinite amount of reports on the system. But then it comes to try and find reports. In the past, on our menu on the left, people complained it was hard to find things. So we've changed that. The menu is now at the top where you can find a report or locate a report yourself. Or better still, we've introduced a report finder. So for example, I might want to look at BitTorrent activity. Do we have any reports for that? So we start typing in, let's say, BitTorrent. It then prompts us to what reports are available. Maybe we're interested in Skype. Type in Skype, there's all our Skype reports. So if you're looking for a report now, you can just type it in and see if LAN Guardian has got something for you. So they're the main changes. The last thing I actually mention as well is that the fact that we haven't removed any functionality at all. Dashboard's still available. They're here behind. Just click it at the top. But they're the main changes we've introduced. I suppose that the biggest one is the new search homepage. It just makes it a lot easier to use the system. So now I want to move on to LAN Guardian and SolarWinds, what the integration looks like. So on on the NetFort website, there is a link as well to our SolarWinds demo. Seems to be refreshing here at the moment. And it's a version that we have integrated with the LAN Guardian. Stay with me a second while it loads up.
Sorry, Darren. Just a couple of you have asked that you've been late joining the webcast. Just a reminder, there is a chat panel there on the bottom right of your screen in the control panel. If you have any questions at any time, please feel free to join the discussion, and we'll get to these. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Aisling. Okay, sorry, the SolarWinds demo was slow to come back here for a second. Okay, so the integration pack with LAN for SolarWinds, what it allows you to do is bring all of the data that we're capturing from the network, whether it be user information, file share information, maybe web or bandwidth activity, and it allows you to present this within SolarWinds. And probably a good example of that is where, you know, you may have a problem with let's go for an issue with a server. One of the servers on our network, file share server, is having problems where the disk is full. And SolarWinds, you know, we all know SolarWinds, quite good at detecting that. But we need to know more information. We need to know why has the server that has the disk filled up so quickly. And I must apologize, the demo here is quite slow at the moment. Click on the server in question. And it loads up the standard SolarWinds No Details page. We've got the standard SolarWinds stuff here, how long it's up and packet loss response time. But this information here on the right-hand side, this is LAN Guardian data, but it's focused on the server in question. So we can see here that in the last hour, 3.9 gigabytes of data was sent to and from the server. It's also running SQL, some web traffic as well. And from here we can drill down. We don't need to leave the interface. But the information gets more useful here in the next one. These are the top files that the server is serving up. And we can see there's a lot of MP3 files. And this becomes more useful now because we can start to understand why there has been a problem with this server. And here's the source IP that's copied these files up onto the server. So here it is. Here we can track the IP address, the client down. And also if they want, we could even present the username here as well. So having this extra application information here makes troubleshooting, you know, a lot quicker to troubleshoot a problem. We get an alert, we drill down, we get detail, traffic, we get files, we get, you know, web pages served. If I go back to the home page here again, another part of the integration is being able to display on some people, you know, when you walk in, you see their SolarWinds dashboard, the top 10 nodes based on packets loss and things like that. Here we have top 10 users over the last hour. We have, you know, who the users are, how much data they're generating on the network, what are the top protocols going through the network at the moment, a lot of web. And we can do further analysis inline here. We just click on the total, drill down. Danny here is generating a lot of web traffic, further analysis, drill down on that. We can see him connecting to a local web server, Betfair, shopping.com, BBC. So all the analysis happens inline. You don't need to leave the SolarWinds interface at all. And this integration pack, people download LAN Guardian, they can download the integration pack as well. It's on our website, and it takes a couple of minutes to get up and running. So there's some of the changes or some of the things we bring to SolarWinds. And we're developing this even more. We're working with Josh Stevens, who used to be working in SolarWinds, just to develop this a lot more. So we'll be having more updates on what we're doing with SolarWinds shortly, through a portal, through videos, through webinars if you want as well, as we continue to develop this and develop the stories. The last thing I want to talk about is some changes coming to the LAN Guardian product itself. A very common request we're getting nowadays is, can LAN Guardian report on the top websites consuming bandwidth? Now, in my previous demo, I would have shown in there the top websites based on hits, which was the old way of measuring things. Now people don't really care too much about hits, they care about bandwidth. So we're developing a new report which allows any customer to look at what websites are consuming the most amount of bandwidth on their networks. And the output looks like this here. This is actually from our own lab. I captured it this morning. We can select a time period, whatever, maybe a week, a day, an hour, whatever we want. We've got the websites in question, how much data is associated with each website, and we can drill down two ways. We can drill down on the bandwidth, find out what clients or users are responsible for the bandwidth, or for something like, let's say, a particular website, you can drill down on the right-hand side, which would show you what pages are being accessed. So you're kind of going down the hits route to see, okay, well, we know all the bandwidth was associated with that site. Tell me more about the pages people are accessing. So you can do that as well. So this is just putting final touches to it at the moment, but it's a new report. So if you have any prospects looking for a tool that allows them to report on top sites consuming bandwidth, LANGuardian is very good for that. The next thing we've been working on, some of our larger customers who may have, let's say, more than 10 remote sites, have been asking us about, could you do something for us that allows us to have on a single screen a report or a status of all WAN sites. So we've developed a new style of a dashboard. And this is a screenshot from a customer, and I've blurred some of the data. Let's give you an idea of what it's showing us here. So you click on WAN monitoring, and this could be up on the wall. We have an entry here for all remote sites. So here's the Southampton link, and currently, when I captured this, it was running at 45 megabits per second. If you see something unusual, if you click on the View button, it extends into this graph, where you can just see, is the link just hit that, or has this been going on for a while? So in the case of the first one here, which was the London connection, it looks like it was running at that for a while now, and you can click on the peak and get the detail. So from a single screen, you can get the status of, and in this case here, I think there's 32 remote sites, all on one screen. We have it up and running in 2 customer sites, and feedback has been very positive so far. So for customers who want something to put up on the wall to get the status of WAN sites, LANGuardian is a great solution for that as well. Not just give you the status, which other products can do, but also give you the drill down capabilities. So if you see a problem, you can actually find out what caused it in the first place. So this is also something in the works for an upcoming release. So I think that's it from what's new in the product and a couple of things we're working on. Any questions?
So far, there's been no questions.
Okay.
But, just to remind everybody that there is a chat channel there if you'd like to join the discussion. So please feel free to submit any questions whatsoever. Thank you.
Okay. I think that's it for today.
That's about it.
That's about it.
I think that's it. So guys, I'd like to thank everybody for attending the webinar. We hope you enjoyed the event, and as we bring the webinar to a close, just maybe you could take a moment to provide us with feedback, and we'd especially like that on the presentation, and also some, like what topics you'd like to see covered in future webinars. You can send along the feedback and your comments to sales@netfort.com for the attention of either Terry or myself. I'd like to thank Dara and Terry. Also, I will be sending out an email in the next couple of days to everybody that has registered with a link to the webinar archive, some links and some other related resources relating to today's webinar. So once again, thank you and have a good day.
Thanks all.